I'm here now with Shane Malcolm. He's the Executive Director of Leadership Niagara. Now, Shane, I'm not sure if all of our viewers will have heard of Leadership Niagara before, so maybe let's start by just taking a few minutes to talk to us about your organization and your role in the community.
Sure. Thanks, Marty. Leadership Niagara is a not-for-profit organization that's been around Niagara since 2007, and we are in the business of mobilizing people to be effective and community leaders, right? So we're part of a network of community leadership programs across the U.S. And Canada that all have the same vested interest in how do we get the next generation of people involved in our community, giving back and contributing in a meaningful way. So it's a little bit about, thriving in business, but also how do we create business leaders that have the foresight and insight that the community is as a part of their business and success as anything else. So we really work well in those two spaces. And what we use to mobilize people as well is we support the not-for-profit sector. So we work each year with about 5 to 8 different local not-for-profit agencies on projects that they come to us with, and we just mobilize people to help them out in that way.
Well, a big part of leadership is adapting to change. And I guess we've had a great example of that lately with response to the COVID-19 pandemic. Talk a little bit about your program, Leadership Niagara, and how have you adapted to the pandemic so far? How have you had to adapt?
Yeah, I mean it's completely a 180 for everybody. I was even on a call immediately after the pandemic and all the restrictions started to go in place with about 200 other EDs and staff members from across the U.S. That run similar programs to ours. And what we do is built on face-to-face community contact in person. So none of us would ever have been prepared for a virtual version of this. So for us, in terms of how it's impacted us, we had to cancel our March Day. March Day was scheduled for the 27th, which was our binational day. So that's a day that we usually do with Leadership Niagara from New York. They come over and we do a big program day together, exploring binational topics and leadership. So before that, I think we made the call around the week of the 13th that we had to cancel because they were already getting travel restrictions from the States in terms of being able to come over. So it's really impacted us in a way of maybe finishing our program off in the in-person format that we're used to. So with that, like everybody else, we've been rolling with the punches, and we're not gonna let this kind of slow us down. So we've found a new way to at least finish off our program virtually. So we held a virtual session, and we're looking at doing that for the other day that we have remaining in our program. But for now, we were just focusing on how do we create and continue the experience that we have for the existing participants, and then we take a pause and assess the pandemic and the recovery process to see how we're going to move forward.
What types of leaders or leadership styles do you think we need as a community to help move us forward in this new normal we'll be entering?
Yeah, I mean, I think this whole experience has given us a pause, an opportunity to pause and reevaluate certain things. And I think coming out of this, there will be a lot of new ways for people to be mobilized, right? So it won't be, volunteerism won't look the same, I don't believe. And agencies and our not-for-profit sector might need people in a completely different capacity than we've needed them before. So I think there'll be new ways that people can get involved and contribute that is maybe different from what it looked like prior to. We will probably need a lot more and continue to need the same energy that we had from our business and corporate community in supporting the not-for-profit sector and the agencies who are wholly dependent on fundraising or government funds to push through, because we're all recovering together. And as you know, most of our not-for-profit sectors or agencies are dealing with issues within our community. So those things don't really take a back seat during a pandemic, and those needs and challenges still exist. So I think it will be really up to us to just pay attention to the new opportunities that will emerge for how we can avail ourselves and contribute to what rebuilding our community looks like.
In the short term, it's only been 6 weeks or so. Have there been any community-based examples, volunteering leadership that you've seen that have really impressed you so far?
Yeah, like I mean, across Niagara, whether it's the stories of how people are using access to technology or 3D printing supports or making their own mask and collecting or just ensuring that or frontline employee workers and everyone that's doing their part are supported, right? So we see so many of these. It's always great driving by your neighborhood and seeing the little driveway birthday party celebrations and stuff like that. So it really tells you that there's still life, there's still vibrancy here, and we're not letting it get the best of us.
Well, I remember being taught that smooth skills don't make a skillful sailor, or smooth seas don't make a skillful sailor. So I think, if anything, these times of unknown and uncertainty will hopefully build even stronger leaders for Niagara moving forward.
Yeah, and I mean, if it's a great lesson in change, adaptability, we're flexing a lot of things that we never thought as people or as leaders we would need to do. And I'm sure that's informing not just our home lives now, but how we approach business, how we approach the community, and how we see what needs exist out there. So hopefully we take the lessons from this into the post COVID-19 time.
Well, you're doing really important work, and I wish you all the best moving forward.
No problem. Thank you. And keep on doing all that you're doing to support what's going on here.